with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens,
a very beautiful morning to you, and welcome to Crossfire on Udala 104.4 FM Onitsha this very lovely Saturday morning. And this very morning, remember what we do here: we speak the truth, we uphold the truth, and we preserve the truth. We call a spade a spade. We can never call a spade by any other name. And there's more reason we say nos dicere veritas, nos dicere iuris in veritas, and nos dicere vivica cabit veritas, and nos dicere lingolum lingolum, and nos dicere contra lingolum lingolum. Just as we have always been saying, here is our sanctuary, our altar, where we pontificate the truth and nothing but the truth. On Crossfire, it has always been where statements do come to share their thoughts and their views about developments, not just in Nigeria, but in entire country and beyond. And I have here with me this morning a special guest, a candidate of one of the political parties vying for gubernatorial seat for Anambra November 8, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, here with me in the studio, I have Mr. John Chuma Nwosu. And John Chuma Nwosu is the candidate of African Democratic Congress and someone who hails from Newichi in the Newi. He has always described himself as a devoted nationalist. He also is an economist and a computer technologist. It's my pleasure to welcome you this very morning, Mr. John Chuma Nwosu. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tony.
It's a pleasure, and I must start by saying congratulations for emerging the candidate of African Democratic Congress. How was it like?
Well, it's more of a fulfillment because, African Democratic Congress, what it stands for? It stands for good governance all over Africa, starting from our dear state, Anambra State, down the southeast of Nigeria, then expand to the entire country. Because Nigeria is the giant of Africa. If things works very well in Nigeria, of course, Africa, the entire Africa will be liberated. Thank you.
Now we want to just ask you, you are just one of the 16 candidates according to INEC, because INEC released the list of these candidates and we're able to spot your name. And then you now becomes one of them, 16 of you, jostling for this position. Do you think the number is too large or too small? What do you think about the number?
Well, I believe in democracy. The more, the merrier. But as time goes on, it was always good to allow people to come out and prove themselves. So the number is not a problem. But I know our democracy is still in its infancy. I know gradually things will improve. As a matter of fact, I'm one of the advocates of independent candidacy, so that that will help reshape the corrupt practices that bewilder some of the political parties.
Let's begin by asking you, why are you in the race? Do you think the present governor isn't doing what he's supposed to do, or you just decided to just test that very coveted office just for the alo? Why are you in the race?
Well, I believe in good governance. If Anambra State is working under Soludo, I wouldn't be here. I'm in the race out of annoyance because things are not working well under Soludo.
So it's more like a protest contestation. You are in the race to protest the disappointment about the way things are in Anambra State.
Well, he is a professional, and I'm an IT professional and an economist. So, as a matter of fact, I keep on telling people that I don't have business with politics. But democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. If the good people are not involved, things will not happen. So I believe that I can do better than the current governor.
You look so gentle, because I'm just seeing you for the first time physically. I've seen or heard about you, and then now seeing you, you look so gentle. And not just that, you were here quite on time, even before me. And do you think politics is for those who are gentle? Because we've seen many times where likes of Kachim Chetima says that nice men, they don't make good leaders, but rather they have to sell ice cream, sell popcorn. You look so nice, you look so gentle. Do you think politics is something you can delve into?
Politics is for everybody. In this world, we have people that make noise, yet they don't deliver anything. So it's always important to have a cool-headed head. Whether you are gentle or not does not determine the good leadership. What is important is your mindset, your knowledge and capability. Your ability to be fair, have empathy for the people, promote equality and efficiency. That is what governance is all about.
Let's ask you about your vision for Anambra State. I believe you have a manifesto and things you may wish to do and things you may wish to correct. Can you share some insight? Because we're going to just delve into that, but let's have the key areas you want to focus. These manifesto probably address some of these concerns which have burdened you so much.
Like I mentioned, Anambra State is not working under the present administration. I have what I call the 7 pillars of good governance, SHIMS, which stands for security, health, education, economy, environment, market, and social welfare. You can see today all these things, I believe, in following where His Excellency Peter Obi stops with his, my program will be similar to what we call ANIS, Anambra Integrated Development Strategy, which means that making sure that the entire state is developing simultaneously. You know, my chimps is what I'm using to replace that. You can see today we are battling with insecurity. If nothing can happen in our state if it is not safe. If people don't feel safe, then both the local and the foreign investors, nobody will find his way here. So security is key. If you don't have a good, if your workers are not healthy, then of course your GDP will continue to go down. The economy will continue to go down. Then you talk of education. Education is the engine of any economy. If the people are not well educated, forget it, you cannot compete in the Committee of States and Nations. I'm an ICT person. I believe that our curriculum needs to change because things have moved forward. Today, if you look at the way the world is going, people are laying their emphasis on manufacturing. As a matter of fact, in America today, manufacturing has dropped down to 35%. We are talking of today social services and technology. So our education, I will introduce what we call STEM education, where S stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. You know, all this. Then you talk of development of our infrastructure. I believe in three-arm honor axis, where Onitsha stands for commerce, then Oka is for administration, and Nnewi is for industrial development. As a matter of fact, Nnewi is one of the 7 non-designated industrial centers approved by Jonathan's administration. So, of course, today, it's more about story happening that, you know.
No, I've been able to listen keenly about some of the plans you have for Anambra, and then you said there are just 7 of them, 7 key pillars, you call them pillars. And then you did mention something about security, and you also mentioned education, you also mentioned infrastructure. But it seems that I did not hear anything about agriculture in your plans, because we know that Anambra North is an agrarian area, and we know there was a time former governor of Anambra State, William Biano, told us that his administration exported Ogo to outside country and to some Western countries, which many started disputing and contesting. I would also want to find out from you, do you have any plans when it comes to agriculture, if you eventually becomes the governor of Anambra State, because the seat you are going for is the #1 seat in the state?
Well, under my administration, Anambra, we built a food basket of the nation. As a matter of fact, before I became the gubernatorial candidate of ADC, I was an aspirant in Labour Party. I have toured the entire 21 local governments and the major part of the 179 communities in Anambra State. Anambra North is an area I've visited so many times. It's a food basket of. I noticed that as a matter of fact, around November last year, I was to visit Anambra East, West. You know, and I was called late in the night that it has been flooded with water. You know, what our people call Iju, that I shouldn't visit, I should wait for it to go there. Now, diving into it, and I went back, I asked my team, let us research on why this has persisted. Because I remember during the time of His Excellency Peter Obi, Obaru area and wherever, we are all flooded, where we saw him with the secretary to the government then, Oselo Kabaze, walking inside the flood and all the rest of it. And I asked, why has this persisted? You know, I was told that under the government of Ngige, there was a blueprint on how that problem will be resolved. As a matter of fact, I think it happens whenever our neighboring country, Cameroon, opens up their dams. Ordinarily, with information, it's meant to be controlled because it's something that our people will be notified ahead of time, evacuate the people, then they release the water on gradual basis as against pushing everything once and for all. Then on the long term, there is a long-term solution which is very, very expensive. So I'm looking at all this, you know, and we must find a way. So I noticed that the Omambara area is least developed under the current administration. There were no good roads to the farms and all the rest of it. And as a matter of fact, I'm aware that Anambra State is one of the 11 states approved by African Development Bank under their SAPS project, Special Agricultural Processing Zone. Anambra State is one of the states that they are giving $40 million. They have allocated $40 million to put up an infrastructure and equipment for agriculture in terms of good roads, helping in building dams, and so giving them silos and giving them farm inputs and whatever. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at following the Michael Okpara Agricultural Area program, starting from there and then improving it there. You know, and with the use of technology today, I can tell you that under my watch we will become a food basket of the nation.
All right. For those of you who are joining us at this point, remember this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM, and we have in our studio this morning John Chuma Nwosu, the candidate of African Democratic Party. He is our guest this morning. And I must also remind you that you can watch this program live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Udala Radio. As we are here, the program is also live on Facebook. Search Udala Radio. You can also visit Radio Garden. Also search Udala FM. You can also visit our website www.radioudala.com. So we are on different sites, and you can also watch the program. You can also see Mr. John Chuma Nwosu live on these platforms I have mentioned. Please do go there and follow what we do here. Let's go back to issues we're actually looking at. You talked about agriculture. It appears so impressive, the kind of thoughts and visions and plans you have. But there is one challenge I would also want to mention here. Most farmers cannot access their farmlands as a result of herders, Fulani herdsmen. We looked at what happened in Plateau State, what happened in Benue State as we speak right now. Benue is still mourning. Over 200 persons killed. There was also an attack in Enugu, and there was an attack again in Abia, somewhere in Umunochi. So it has become a constant development under your watch as a governor. What will you do to bring to a solution point the issue of Fulani herders invading the farmlands, disrupting farm cultivation and so many other things therein? So what's the plan?
Thank you, Tony. I think the issue of, like I mentioned, the first thing on my agenda is security. All these borders down to security. The problem, I understand, is not only Fulani herders. There are community crises. Some of these problems are community crises. You know, we must, which all this needs to be neat to the board, is it has more of sitting down with the communities, advising them, training them on how to live together, how we are to live together as brothers and sisters, Then, I know that we have, there must be local policing. I have to refine the vigilante system for it to be a professional system. Because as of today, I can tell you, I don't see any continuity in it. So, like where I come from, I know that the community arranges who will be in vigilante and tries to donate, contribute money, and take care of it. For me, I need a more sustainable system.
And what could that system
where
be?
Government needs to be involved.
Okay.
The state government has to be involved in the funding and training of the vigilante. I will make it to be more of a professional thing, not a voluntary thing. Where I believe, as an ICT person, I believe in technology. First of all, we must register all our people under National Identity Management Commission System, NIM, National Identity Number. Make sure all of us have National Identity Number. Now, I must make sure that security men are well trained and well paid with the right infrastructure and equipment. Then as an ICT person, I have to apply the use of artificial intelligence powered CCTV, making sure we have them on the major entry into our state, our borders. First of all, starting with the major commercial cities in Anambra State, covering Onitsha, Nnewi, Ekwulobia, Awka, then down to you will be surprised with what I'm going to tell you, that last time I passed through the Anambra State Airport, I noticed that there was no CCTV. So as a matter of fact, unholy things can be happening through that route. So with all these put together, having a command and control center in Awka, then whatever is happening, we will see it from the center. Making sure that, like I mentioned about equipping the conventional security personnel, making sure that the vehicles they have the same AI CCTV inside it, so that if they are chasing somebody, they are seeing where the person is running. But all this without having good roads, pursuing people will be difficult as well. So you can see that by 7 pillars of good governance must run in tandem. So in summary, I've explained to you that some of these header issues, some of them are community crises. We must discuss with our communities. Then, with the efficient security system, then all this will be taken care of.
Okay, and then we have different communities that share borders with so many states. In Nigeria, if we are talking about Kogi State, we have communities like Aguleri, Nzam. These areas are both in Anambra East and West. And also, if we talk about our borders with Enugu State, we have Ufuma, Ebenebe, even some parts of Ayamelum, and then Anako. They share border with Enugu State, even Oji River area. But then if you talk about our border with Imo State, where so many people have said that these insurgent groups come in from, like Uli, Iseke, Osumo, and some of these places. So even Delta State, Obaru, and some part of Onitsha, and even in those states, some parts of Obaru, these are different entry and exit points. And if you look at the number of distances that measure these areas, they are quite enough. I'm imagining like a border with Kogi stretches to over 40 kilometers. In fact, our border with Enugu 139 kilometers. That's a very long stretch. And also, if you look at our border with Delta and Edo with about 97 kilometers, these are massive land areas. As ICT person, you said artificial intelligence. You also talk about robotism and also other digital gadgets. It's about these things are so easy, because if they're not, why hasn't the federal government done something about it? They couldn't do anything. I'm so much particular for you to explain how would you achieve this.
You see, today we have a satellite system.
Satellites
System. With the use of drones, you can police all these locations.
Oh, okay.
You know, the other day, federal government was talking about forest gas. So I have always mentioned technology must be merged with conventional security system, with human beings. The only thing AI does for you is the routine jobs are being taken over by them. Then they create, people are rid of those routine jobs, but it creates another new jobs, which will now absorb the people. So with a combination of human elements in policing and with the technology, we will take care of all these borders.
What about kidnapping? And some of the things we have noticed in Anambra State, because there is Anambra State Homeland Security Law 2025. It was passed and assented by Governor Chukwuma Soludo in January, where some fake native doctors, the OKT builders, and so many of them, they have been given a hot checks. And it seems that they have been, according to the sources, aiding and abetting criminality and some of these things. Apart from trying to police our border, what about those who are within? And there is also this thought that there is also a vigilante group, Agone Chemba, in Anambra State. And you are saying you are going to form another vigilante. What happens to Agone Chemba? And at the same time, the issue of kidnapping and ransom payment. What do you have in those areas?
Government is continuous. What we are going to do, the present administration, they have tried. I cannot say they got everything wrong. No. If I say that, I'm not being fair. But what I'm telling you, in terms of rating, they have not fared well. We are going to review what they are doing and improve on them. I read in the papers where they mentioned that some Agone Chamber group are sorting money from people. Some are even getting involved in the crime. And we are told that these are, at the beginning, from onset, there are some of them that did not register under NIMSI. So they don't have NIN number. Therefore, they were refused paying salary and all the rest of it until they meet up the employment requirement, which has to do with the inefficiency I talked about. I have been an employer of labor for the past 31 years. You cannot employ somebody without the right checks. You must have a guarantor. We are talking of security of life and property. Anybody that will work in that area will be somebody of means. As a matter of fact, I read in books that before the Nigerian Civil War, that if you want to enroll in any of the security system, be it military or police and whatever, you must have a guarantor from your traditional ruler, as far as the traditional ruler in your village. So once it is a question of us going back to what needs to be done, the laws are there. I can tell you from what I have seen, Nigeria, our state have laws.
Okay.
It is implementation where we are failing. So, setting up a good chamber, there is nothing wrong with it, but what we are saying is it has to be done in the right way.
Okay.
Getting the right people.
Okay.
And with the implementation of the technology and improvement of the security agents, then the issue of kidnapping will be taken care of. You know, I mentioned that federal government was ruling out issue of the foreign gas. Foreign gas used to be there before the Civil War. So it is, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. As I mentioned, the laws are there. All that we are lacking is implementation and efficiency, which under my watch will be my key goals.
Okay. Let's leave issue of security and let's look at one of your pillars in the area of infrastructure. Anambra State, under the present government, from what they have told us, that they have taken a huge leap on infrastructural development. We are told that over 560 kilometers of roads have been asphalted, and with so many other ones sprawling like a global flyover. Do you think they have done well, or you could have done something differently? Because there are those who are saying that not every place is paved, not all the roads are done, and there are those who are saying no, this is federal road. There are those who are saying no, these roads, they have erosion problems sometimes when they are done, because Anambra State has become the headquarters of erosion in Nigeria in area of road infrastructure, housing development, urban renewal. As we are told, the present government says you have Onitsha 2.0, you have Oka 2.0, trying to reclaim some areas that are more like rural, making them urban areas to stop urban or rural-urban migration. Let's have your thoughts, your plans on area of infrastructure taking into look road, housing, and then urban developments.
Well, I don't believe in stories.
Okay.
The present administration is wrong. The present government, Governor Soludo, will be running based on what he has put on ground, on his result for the past 3 years. The roads are there to be seen. Under His Excellency P2B, the federal roads, he took care of the federal roads from Onitsha Head Bridge down to Mpo. Since he left, nothing has been done. I understand that MTN had an arrangement with the federal government, but because of the inflation and whatever, for the past 1 year or thereabout, nothing has happened. And our governor was waiting for the federal government to do their roads. Today, that right in front of the old government house in Oka, you see bad roads. As a matter of fact, the commerce in Onitsha, activities in Onitsha has drastically reduced because of the bad roads spanning on the so-called federal roads between Onitsha and Enugu. That has stalled business. A lot of businessmen coming from the north, from Cameroon, because I was born and brought up in Onitsha. They don't used to come because of the bad roads. What P2B did was have agreement with the federal government, build the roads, and then get a refund. Most of the money were paid back to Anambra State under his Woody Obiano, who took over from him. You know, the current administration is not doing anything. He left the roads, calling them on federal roads. The other roads we are talking about, he has done the major 90% of the roads network in Anambra State. A week ago, I was around Okuzu when it rained. All the places were flooded. Most of the roads that are being done are either poorly designed and in the terms that when it rains today, people cannot do anything. So for me, I believe in quality jobs. The roads be built by Ngiga administration in a Demili, north and south. You will see when it rains, those roads are still there after so many years. So I believe in high quality jobs. I believe in doing the right things.
So even if it means bringing Julius Berger and then some of these high costing construction firms, is that what we're going to do?
I believe in growing the economy of our people. I will make use of those high quality people together with the local contractors. As a matter of a worst case scenario, I believe in using them as consultants to help our local people to grow. I believe in empowering our people, in order to grow the economy of our state. I don't believe in making use of companies that are not working in our state. So it has to be a mixture of using the big companies together with the local companies, because I believe that the young shall grow. Yes. The only thing is that I must make use of consultants, because my emphasis will be on efficiency. I don't believe in doing so many number of roads. I believe in doing quality jobs so that the resources of the state will not be wasted.
You did mention something about P2B, saying that your program would be like Annex, Anambra State Integrated Development Strategy, and you are going to ensure that different sectors are developed simultaneously. Exactly what P2B did. And P2B embarked on massive road construction. But someone like Ngige came out and said that the roads he did were poorly done. And that's why some of them faded not quite long after these roads were done. But you said here you will not be so much concerned about the numbers, but the quality. That if one is done, let it be something that will last for a very long time. And then the present administration seems to be dualizing some roads, and we've seen the one stretching from Oka down to Nanka, from Nanka to Ekulobi, and another one stretching from Oka down to your hometown of Newe, which we are told that will stretch down to Ihiala Axis. And those who are from Obenebe, Ofemili, and Uwenu, many of them gave the present administration some thumbs up, saying that we have not had such kind of road construction in our area for a very long time. Now, we'd also be interested in dualizing some of these roads, or more like we said, efficiency. The ones done, let it be quality ones. You said you're going to engage even both the big contractors, the local ones, and ensure there's synergy, and more often use the big ones as consultants to ensure that the local ones develop, because they are our brothers. They also need to have their own jobs. What, apart from these roads, because if we go to Dubai, we see how things are there, and the government says we are giving you Dubai, Taiwan. That's what the present government says is giving to the people of Anambra State. Are you gonna give another type of Dubai, Taiwan, or you have an acronym for your own?
The present administration, Professor Charles Soluda's administration, promised giving us Dubai and Taiwan. But what has it delivered? More hills. I'm not promising any Dubai and Taiwan. But all I'm saying is that I'm going to give you a robust infrastructure that meets international standard. Like I mentioned to you, that my administration will stand on efficiency. There is processes of doing things. I don't know whether you mentioned of dualization of roads, even the one that passed through my village, Newi. Have you gone there of recent? Or when it rains, have you visited there? Where the design properly done? If you look at the size of the gutters and what is being done, if you look at the damages done to people's properties and all the rest of them, you know, now there is what we call electronic geographical information system. Lagos State government passed a bill on that recently. There again, this brings me back to the use of technology. Before you embark on road construction, you must have geographical information system of the areas. Know where the stream are, the topology of the environment, to know where you channel the waters. You know, what we have in Anambra State today, I can tell you 80% of erosion we have in Anambra State is man-made erosion. There was one in my village, Newich, that started after the construction of the road that passed through my house. We noticed that all the waters, the bulk of the waters were channeled to one point, and that created a very big erosion in Newich. So, I'm more concerned about following the due process in doing things. Designing the roads. The present administration, they waited until after 3 years. Because of an election, they just embark on roads everywhere without design, which is a very big disaster today. If it rains everywhere, this morning, I saw on social media what happened in Abagan and all the rest of it. I'm not taking time to study that. But the one I saw myself 2 Sundays ago was in Okuzu, where I started raining, water were flowing into people's houses. The entire road were covered. That the tricycle users were all fighting to hold their vehicle. Yes. So, I believe 100% in infrastructural development to bring our city up to the standard of cities like Singapore and all the rest of them. But I don't believe in giving you Taiwan or Dubai or whatever. There are international standard ways of doing things. So I believe in standards.
Like Singapore standard.
I don't want to mention any country or whatever.
Okay.
You know, I believe in Nigeria. I believe in following the international rules. There is what we call ISO standard. Okay. International Standard Organization ways of doing things.
Okay.
With that, we create a niche ourselves.
All right.
Yes.
We are going to leave the issue of infrastructure. We've talked about security and infrastructure and agriculture, remember. But there are some local politics we also want to delve into, because I know there could be time for you to talk about education, health, and all that. But let's look at some local politics. Do you have a godfather?
I don't believe in godfather.
You don't have anybody who you can call your godfather? You mentioned P2B here. I'm wondering, is P2B a godfather?
P2B has been a leader of my party when I was in Labour. You know, he's not my godfather.
He's not your godfather?
Rather, he's my friend.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you have a mentor? Political mentor?
I don't have a political mentor. In fact, for some of you who doesn't know me, I was a BOT member of APOGA as far back as 2014. You know, so what I do is that I believe in role models, looking at people Yes, P2B as a governor did well. That's why you see me mentioning him. You know, nobody is perfect. People has their,
Okay.
but giving it to him, his administration was good.
Okay.
Yes.
A quick one, because we understand that you are an ex-Samarian and also a devout Catholic from Oduda, if I get that correct, Newish.
Odida Newish.
Odida Newish.
Yes.
And you have your brother, George Moharo. Don't you think he will divide their votes? He's also from Newi.
Well, I believe in grassroots campaign.
Okay.
What am I doing here today? I believe that people will vote for me based on what I'm coming to with, based on what I can do. You know, our leaders has failed. The trust is no more there, you know, but the gap between the led and the leaders is widening every day. The trust. My business is to build a trust. For people who has known me as an entrepreneur, employer of labor for the past 31 years, they know that I walk the talk. I don't believe in talking too much, telling people this. So I believe that people will vote for me based on what they believe I can do.
And nobody will divide their votes.
Nobody will divide my vote. So I've asked my people to work hard to sell our program to the people. I believe in door-to-door campaign and whatever. So with that, I expect to win overwhelmingly.
You're also from the Anambra South Senatorial District.
Yes.
And the president governor is also from South. And there are people who are saying, if you go in there, you may stay another 8 years, and which will make South to be in power for 12 years instead of 8 years. There are people who are saying 4 is better than 8. And what's the view about that? And there are people who believe in zoning principle, which some have canalized in Anambra State. I don't know if you have anything to say on that.
Tony, I believe in zoning system. Zoning has come to stay. It was instituted by the government of P2B. And I believe in every zone, not just having a zoning system, in every zone bringing out their best. For me, I'm a man of my words. What have I done? What I have done? I've sworn an affidavit during before the aborted primary in Labour Party. Sworn an affidavit in court, Anambra State High Court, saying that if I stay a day after 4 years, I can be sued for perjury. I'm a man that, when I tell you what I want to do, I will make sure that I put a system that will stop me from going contrary to that. So my government will run for 4 years. Anything after 4 years with the affidavit I have sworn in court, I can be sued for perjury and be taken to jail. So my government is for 4 years. I'm just coming. I believe that any strong leader, 4 years is enough for you to make your mark, set the foundations, because I'm just coming to set up the foundation, reset the system, solve the problems that are peculiar to Anambra State, and then solve the ones that are peculiar to our southeast regions. You can see Abia State in the past 24 years, nothing happened there. Look at only the 2 years of my dear brother and friend Alex Oti. You see the changes in only 2 years. Talk less of Enugu State. See what our brother Mba has done. When I was talking about CCTV or whatever, he's already working in Enugu State. It's not a rocket science. And as a matter of fact, I'm parcel of all this that is being done.
Oh.
Yes. So I am running for 4 years.
And we can take it to the bank.
Take it to the bank. I can show you the affidavit I swore.
Okay.
So it's not a case. I'm a man that believes if you tell people, because like I mentioned before, there is a whole lot of distrust between the leaders and the people.
Okay.
So as a result of that, that's why I've taken sworn to that affidavit, so that people will have something that can be used against.
That's good. Okay, and remember, you are still listening to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. Just like I said earlier on, you have to go to our YouTube, you have to go to our Facebook, go to other media channels. We have media handles, and then be part of what we do here. And I know many people are listening to you because the traffic we generate here cannot be quantified. It's unquantifiable. By the time I open the phone lines, you see the traffic yourself, and you will really be convinced that you are talking to their numbers live and direct. In Agbafopu, Hanegentena, Nifinepu. So many of them, Onitsha, Newi, Oka, Ekulobia, they are listening. Even those in the other state, those outside the country, the diaspora community, they are all listening. That's the privilege being here. Let's open the phone lines for some of them that would want to ask a question, because I know from time to time we'll be calling on you because there is so much to talk about. Because this time around, before somebody abolo governor, again your chio fuma, aga in your chaya, wachaya, draw ye feni naga, because we are trying to ensure that this debate becomes something that will be law. Let's open the phone lines for those of them that will want to come in now, that are privileged to ask you a question. We have Mr. John Chuma Nwosu, the candidate of African Democratic Party. So gentle, so nice, but gentle people and those who are nice, what do you think about it? Let's open the phone line 0803 22 16973 or 0803 221 6973. As a matter of fact, his team will be coming from time to time here. Let's see the programs. They are here to market their programs on their number. Let's go straight to the phone lines and then get who is talking or who is on the line. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
My name is Ike. I'm calling from Awada.
Your name is Ike Chuku, calling from Awada. You're welcome. Oh, so sorry. We lost that call from Ike Chuku, who called in from Awada. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Tony Mbeki. Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you.
Yeah. Sir, I'm greeting you. Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from? A quick one because of time.
This is Opike calling you from Obosi.
Opike calling from Obosi. Please go on.
Yes. I proceed. Sir, everything you said, I write it down. There's one thing you said that I love so much. That you said that you don't have any godfather. Secondly, you don't have any mentor. I love that move. But one thing I notice about you is that you come out openly. You say your heart. You say some truth there, what I see. But one thing I want to beg you, sir. All things you say here today, make sure that you put it in practice. I beg of you. I rest my case here. You are
all right, thank you so much, Opike, who called in from Obosi. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Hello, good morning, you're on.
Hello, good morning, my man in the studio.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
What's your name?
Badmos. Hello.
Badmos, please go on.
Yeah, Badmos Honora. I'm calling from Nnewi.
Badmos Honora calling from Nnewi. Quick one, make it as GV as possible.
Good. I want to ask the governorship candidate in the studio. His party is African
Democratic Congress.
It is.
I want to ask him, can he be able to secure the votes Anambra people will give him? How many people do he have that will mind the polling stations, polling units we have in Anambra? So that it will not be the like of Labour Party where people voted for him and they can help you able to secure their vote and other political parties throw their vote into the gutters. So I want to ask, do you have the capacity to protect the vote Anambra people give to you? Number two, you said that you sworn an affidavit that you are going to rule only 4 years. Then I want to ask you, if you become a governor and you are now the chief security of the state, covered with the immunity, can someone sue a governor who has immunity that he said during campaign that he can only rule 4 years when the governor wanted to rule 8 years? If someone sue you on that background, for instance, you become governor.
We got your question because of time.
Have anything. Then finally, on the issue, you said that you are going to create security. All these headers class is going to start. That you are going to police are going to well paid and well trained. I want to ask: is it the duty of a governor to train and pay the Nigerian police force? As a governor, if you become a governor today, is it your duty to train the Nigerian police?
All right, we got that. But we have to let you go. There are other people waiting. I want to just take other questions from other people. Please, there are so many people waiting, and then I'm getting the signal that so many waiting to ask questions. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Make it 30 seconds. It will help us because we have just the next 10 minutes or they're about to leave. Good morning, you're welcome.
I'm asking with Udala FM.
Please go on. You are here on with Udala FM. You are live on Udala FM.
Okay, my name is Akudo from Onitsha.
Akudo from Onitsha. Please go on and ask your question.
Yes, God bless you. The only thing that spoiled Nigeria's political issues is familiarity, and I have my brother here already. Hello?
All right, I think you are trying to make a comment. We're actually thinking you're going to ask a question based on what our guest said this morning. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Hello, good morning. Are you there? You're on.
Chief Dr. Dim. Hello.
Please go on.
Good morning.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
My name is Chenna.
Uchenna, where are you calling from? You're calling from where? I can't hear you. Where do you say you're calling from?
I tell you, I'm going to Delta State.
Delta State. Please go on.
Okay, what I'm suggesting is, I heard what the man said. So I hope he's going to do very well. Nigeria want to help us technology. So what I'm saying is, if possible, you can allow the present government to finish. Maybe after Soludo, they can vote him, and I hope the man will do very well in terms of technology.
All right. Thank you so much. Asking,
what will be your position with ESN and IPOB?
All right. It seems another person is asking us another question.
Is organizing and which made security to be what it is.
All right. Can you hear me back? Can you hear me back?
Away from that,
you can hear me back.
I overheard you again say that we are going to live in peace with our haters and our killers, the herdsmen. Do you know how Sokoto and the North fell into the hands of Ottoman Dampodio and his men? Thank you very much this morning.
All right, thank you so much. Can you hear me back? So we want to pick your name again. What's your name again? All right, it seems that he has gone. Two persons call at the same time. Have to take one and then. So let's take the final one and come back to our guest. There are a barrage of questions. People are welcome. It's good to have you. Please go on.
Yeah, Chidi Chukuma reaching you from board this morning.
You're welcome, Chidi Chukuma.
Yes, congratulations to the candidate of APC. I wish him success, but I want to advise that all that he has said, we have noted it that. So with this issue of member or godfatherism, we don't want the repeat of that. So So we have noted it down. And also want to advise them to play a very good game. Politics is a game of number. And we don't want crisis in Anambra State. So it's sound very gentle, and we want him to continue like that. We don't want crisis in Anambra State. Anybody that want to take it by fire, it will not work in Anambra State. So let it be an issue-based campaign, and not crisis or criticism. All
right, thank you so much. Because of time, I'm forced to take one more call before I return to our guest. The callers are so much with all with full throttle. I just like I said earlier on that once you are here, you are talking to the people of Anambra State. Good morning. Are you there? Are you there? Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Your Excellency, I heard all you said and I'm impressed. My name is Honorable Nerus.
Honorable what?
Nerus.
Merit.
Yes.
Okay, Honorable Merit. Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Onitsha, yes.
Okay, right.
I would love to have a meeting with you. My team is will be working with you to see that all that you said come to limelight. So I don't know how
all right, that's a personal thing. You have to look out on how to reach him out, but I will give him time to reply to you. All right, because I really want to tell you how you can reach him, and then you have to add this to his questions. How accessible are you? Because we find out that sometimes when people come here to campaign, talk to Ndianambara, after self a vote, or what you say, it was in a phone, I pass from one person to another person before I think you send mail or send email. So we want to find out also how accessible you are. You've got a lot of questions. I won't take more. This will tell you. I told you earlier on. If I open the phone lines, you will see barrage of questions, and that's exactly what you've seen now. If I take another 5 minutes, here we flood with questions. You are talking to Ndianambara here on Udala 104.7 FM, live and direct. Can we have answers to some of these questions? There are many. I don't know how many of them you can answer because we have a few minutes.
I will answer all of them.
We have a few minutes to leave here.
Okay.
We have so much conscious of time.
Let me start from the first caller, Ikechukwu from Awadas. Ikechukwu, sorry, we lost you. Because you came online and they went off.
Yeah.
Number 2, Obike from Obosi. Obike from Obosi. I will collect your number from Tony, and I will contact you. Please come and join us to make things happen. I believe in teamwork, but as a leader, mine is to take a timely decision. Take a superior decision and timely. But I believe in teamwork because 2 good heads are better than 1, and nobody has monopoly of knowledge. Number 3, Badmos Onora from Newi. You talked about making sure, manning the polling booths and making sure that the people's vote, when they vote for me, counts. Today, I know that we have 5,720 polling booths, and each of them needs 2 polling agents. Definitely, from next month, once our campaign takes off in full, part of the things we are doing is the voters education, grassroots campaign, and getting people who will be the polling agents. Without having good polling agents, the votes cannot count, Then you talked about 4 years. That if I win one, for you to move to second term, people must vote for you. You must present yourself. I'm sure you are afraid that with incumbency powers and whatever, I will push my way through. It is not possible. I'm not going to do that. It is left on the number also to say no. And I can tell you the team I'm going to work with. In fact, Badmos, I invite you to join my team. so that you make sure that this is the kind of people I'm going to work with are those that will not be because most times we have weak leaders. It is the supporters that pushes them to continue holding on to power, even when they are not strong enough to continue. So I invite you, Badmus, to join my team. So the issue of immunity is not going to work.
Because you did say something about you have affidavit already deposed.
Yes.
And then he said, you have immunity. How can somebody sue you? I said, Governor.
No, before you are sworn in, you can be sued. It's not a problem. You can sue a governor, even somebody that has immunity, depending on the case.
On the matter.
On the matter.
If he has to, you can sue his government.
Yes. The law never said you don't sue a governor, you can't sue him on a personal basis. No. What they are saying is things that are not
civil or criminal matters.
Yes, things that are not serious and whatever. Personal issues, we are suing the government. Okay. Yes. It doesn't mean that they not be sued. But they put that immunity in order to not to disturb the activities.
Because I've seen some people suing governor for violating their fundamental human rights.
Yes. Then on the issue of security, you said that the police is not my job. Yes, they are federal employees. But me and you know today that with inflation and whatever, these things doesn't count together. We must assist them. We must support them. That's where every government that have existed in this state takes what they call security vote. What are those security votes meant for? You have to help people that are working with you. You have to make sure that they're okay. Whatever they are getting from federal government is their statutory right. Mine is to make sure that they're okay. I will make sure I give them life assurance so that when they are working, they will be committed to their duty. Number 4, Akudo from Onitsha. Thank you. You were mentioning something about familiarity and whatever. Well, I believe in equity, fairness, and good governance. So, as far a governor is more like a father of a state. So everybody in the states are your children. So there is no issue of favoritism and whatever, you know. Number 5, Uchenna from Delta States. Thank you for calling in. You said that I'm a good candidate for governorship, but I have to wait for 4 years. Let the present administration. 4 years in a life of a state is too long. Soludo has done well at his own level. But we need to do better. Anambra State should be the best among the equals. The entire country looks up to Anambra State to show them the light. This thing says light of the nation. So we should be able to show the light. So the best is what we are looking for.
Okay.
Yes, where we cannot, 4 years is too long, like I mentioned. He has done well. Let us come in and do better, Then on issue number 6, Chidi Chukuma from Mpo. I call you to join us. You said you like what I am saying, on issue of mentor, godfatherism, Yes, whatever I've said today is something that is on my head. It is noted. If you wake me up tomorrow, I invite you to join as a team to make sure that to see that I'm not going to deviate from what I have said. Like, democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. So I'm inviting you to join my government. Then finally, Honorable Merit from Onitsha, I will collect your number from Tony and make sure we contact you so that you come and work with us. I'm fully accessible. We have our campaign office in Oka, and then we are within the next 1 month, our party will have party offices in every local government with ward offices, so that to make it easy for me to be assessing every member of the public. Of course, any government that comes to power in 2025 in Anambra State must create a secure environment in which in the Anambra will carry out their businesses, commerce, industries, and social activities without fear. This is what I offer to the people of Anambra State.
Right. Thank you so much, John Chuma Nwosu. And you've just said quite a lot you have to offer to Anambra, and we believe from time to time we'll be coming to speak to Anambra because it's essential, it's important, and definitely there are people that would say, is there any need to sign any social contracts with you? And another thing is, we must also find a way to hold our public office holders accountable. So how accountable will you be to the people? Quickly, because we are trying to close.
Like I mentioned before, the laws are there. Nothing stops people. In fact, I quarrel with the masses that we are not asking questions.
Oh, we have some questions on Facebook. I've been told I have to take some questions on Facebook. There are people who have asked questions on those lines, on those channels. We feel they should visit. So let's also appreciate them, because you can't tell people go there and they have gone there and they have asked questions. We have to also appreciate the fact they have asked questions. Let's quickly look at some of the questions they have asked. We have from Agu Oge on Facebook. Good morning, Tony and the guests in the house. I heard the guest saying he will be in the office for 4 years and step down for another person. It is very, very, how do you put it? It is something he can take. I don't trust politicians with their promise and failed. With their promise and failed, I guess that's what you want to write. They're always in. Some of us will come out and ask people to vote for us, but after that, they will leave them and rule, or even jump to another party. That's another thing. Good morning, Tony. I'm disappointed with our politicians in Nigeria. I can imagine them using road lights and water to make campaign. Wow, so funny. We have so many messages here, and then I think Oge is having the same issue, but most ways which you have also taken time to dissect, because people don't trust politicians. I think that's the basic thing. And one would also want to ask you, are you a politician or are you a technocrat?
I am a politician and a technocrat. I've managed, I'm the owner of JetLink Limited, an ICT firm that started 1 year old, with offices across the country, Ghana and Liberia. I'm an ex-emeritus of our Hello Seminary. As far back as 1981, I was the secretary to Catholic Women Organization on Onitsha Diocese, and the assistant secretary to Cardinal Arinze there, before I left seminary school. So I'm a man of integrity. People who has known me in the business area can testify for my integrity.
So the people should drop this issue of politician this, politician that, and take you for who you are.
Definitely.
That's definitely. Because according to Oge, Agu Oge.
Yes, I don't blame her.
She says, I heard this and that I don't trust politicians.
But there is one thing we are messing up. everybody should be a politician.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Man is a political animal.
Yes. Because in places like Ghana, for instance, majority of the people belongs to one political party or the other, based on ideologies. You know? So, I hate to hear people say, oh, these politicians, this, that, and whatever. Are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
We are all political animals.
So if you are...
People should get involved and ask questions.
And be part of politics.
Be part of it. I believe in transparency. I will computerize the entire system with the IGR and whatever, so that people knows what is there in our coffers. Today, nobody knows how much Anambra State gets from FAC, from IGR, all those things. It will be a thing of the past. There is what we call IFIMIS, State Financial Information Management System, which is being used in states and whatever. So it is, I don't blame people the way they look at people and say, politicians, this, that, and whatever. Please, we must all wake up. I'm a technocrat, cum politician. So
they have nothing to fear.
Yes.
Okay, and then that will be that, because I believe we have done justice to what we have here today. Next you come, we're going to take you on economy and the issue of revenue generation, because it takes funds to do some of these things. Without funds, one cannot do things. And the issue of debt and borrowing, we're going to take you on these key things: economy, IGR, debts, borrowing, and so many things. We're going to take you on that. Thank you so much, Mr. John Chuma Wosu, the candidate of African Democratic Congress. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Tony, and your team at Udala Radio FM 104.7 FM station. Thank you.
Thank you so much, listeners, wherever you listen to us from. We appreciate all of you. We have to take a moment now. And when we take a moment, we take some breaks. So after these breaks, we'll come back and conclude what we've started. You have a lovely time.
Udala Radio, 104.7.